This is behind the scenes, after a real strategy meeting for our family to start the new year. Now, who do you think did not want to participate at first? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about the tips we're sharing with
I
you.
didn't want to do it. Uh,
I know you didn't want to do it,
Taskmaster.
but okay, but do you see the
Help me.
value?
Yeah, I see value.
What's the value though?
Value is happy wife, happy
that's
life.
not that's not what you said though. That's not what you said.
No, the value, I mean, it really did help me to, because of your question, it did help me think about what my priorities are for the year and really making definitive decisions with some of the goals that I want to accomplish.
Good. See,
So I appreciate that.
I mean, we're continuing what we said. So I mean, I've always kind of done a list like this, and especially with my finances. You know, this is my green book because this is about my money.
Hmm.
Um, but you said you want to do things differently.
I did. I just got to be careful about what I tell you
No, you don't.
because
I'm here to help you, boo.
I know you're the incubator, as Miles Monroe said.
Yes.
Women are the
Rest his soul.
incubators. Yes.
What would you say we need to tack first? Because we got 5 pillars. I mean, those weren't even mine. Remember?
Hmm.
How
Yeah.
did you come to that?
Talking, and I know I knew I wanted to do things differently. I was like, well, what is our relationship going to be based off of? What are we going to have? What pillars are going to hold us up in order to have a successful marriage?
But you had those before we even met.
Yeah, those were all my own personal things that I kind of want to do, but I wanted those to incorporate that into our relationship as well.
Oh, well,
So,
it worked for me. I just think, most people think that men are like headline visionary, like top level. I think about the big stuff, and women think about the details.
hmm.
So that's all I was trying to do with our whole master plan, mastermind meeting was to bring some details and strategy to what we said we wanted to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So 2024 is here. I mean, we already in it. So I guess now it's just a matter of getting down the actual details of the plan and how we're going to execute.
Hmm. I think that we should probably have a quarterly this update, kind of like we do in the corporate world, where we have,
Oh,
like our quarterly POAs or plan of action
we're going to
meetings.
say POA, plan of actu quatio.
Plan of action for PO, right?
So I have a couple of planners and I have this whole calendar thing, but what's the best way for you that we keep record of dates and timeline?
For me, it's probably going to be the calendar on the phone
Digital,
and
right?
digital.
Okay, because
Yeah.
that's what I move towards. I think I told you I'm
Hmm.
trying to
But
make the
then
whole
also keep
shift.
the paper, like so. I always have the
Okay,
calendar too. The,
so you use both.
I use both.
All right. Well, let's get to getting.
Get to get.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are doing something different in 2024. I think most times people go into a new year and we all have personal goals, even if it's just a couple of resolutions, but we also have on our jobs certain goals. And we who are in the mainstream of the flow of society, we always have something we have to accomplish on your job, no matter what your job is. You have a timeline, you have something you need to do. No matter where you are in life, there are goals, there are timelines, there are deadlines, there are expectations. And I think the benefit of what we have just worked through, it took about 3 hours.
Mm.
And I feel like we've really just started and we only scratched the surface. But the reality is that we spend a lot of time investing in making somebody else's dream come true on our jobs in corporate America and wherever you may be. But to really invest in your relationship, in your marriage, and in this household, in this enterprise, those 3 hours were a minimum. We talk a lot. I think we communicate a lot on the go and in between, but to really sit down and begin to put pen to paper, write the vision, and strategize so that we can be on the same page as we move forward. I feel good about it. It actually put some fuel in my fire to kind of do some other things
Hmm.
that I've been dragging my feet on. But
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, this is new because, of course, as a single person, let me tell you, we can get in our own space, do what we want to do, but trying to plan a life with somebody else, was new. Was new. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, thank you. It was very, very helpful, more so than I thought it would be. Because you big on what's having a plan and putting the plan to action. And I'm more or less, I think about it, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And sometimes it does get kind of lost in your day to day activities. I'm really good about, like you said, making sure everything's on point when it comes to making somebody else rich,
What?
and then when it comes to me, sometimes those things fall on the wayside. So uh, just being able to sit down for these 3 hours, as much as I did not want to do that, it actually it worked out much better. So
How many things have you not wanted to do and ended up appreciating it after the fact?
not much, not many of them.
Well, you're right, because there haven't been many of them that I've asked you
Oh,
about.
you mean between us?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Well, hey, we wanted to share with you some insight because, as we said before, we're on this journey. We don't have all the answers, but we know it could probably benefit someone who wants to prepare for a new life like me and kind of come outside of the super single mentality and get ready for the blessing God may have for you in another phase and season of life.
Mm-hmm.
And then for you, sir.
Yeah, I just want to say though, I think it's important to not be afraid to have uh, your spouse or partner, your business partner, however your relationship is set up, to challenge each other on what your actual goal is,
Mm-hmm.
or what you're trying to accomplish for for our own sake and purposes, the pillars. So what is it that we're trying to accomplish individually and collectively? And because that helps you to kind of think through what it is that you're trying to do. And it's not necessarily, your questioning doesn't necessarily mean that you don't believe in the idea or you think it's silly or whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's just a question of how do you get to the end point,
Right, right,
or how do you get to the next step?
right.
It's very easy to say, well, I want to have a Father's Day luncheon for uh, single fathers in June. Uh, but then how do you get from that idea to getting the fathers in the chair, and what do you want to accomplish at the luncheon, so forth and so on. So just having those type of conversations, I think it helps you to think through the process more deeply than probably if you were just to do it by yourself. It's, at least for someone like me who does kind of think more top line and then get to the results. A lot of times for me, there's a lot of in between that I don't like to deal with.
Right.
So
That's all. We'll work it out. We'll get to it when we get to it.
mm-hmm.
And I I personally believe because of how I have to live, I'm a part of a large church. We go through the ringer with all types of questions and scenarios and the planning, and we have to be 4 or 5 steps ahead because you're moving a large body of people. And so I've been conditioned. It's in my blood now to think far ahead, think about the details, think about it from all angles, look at all possibilities. And then I see the benefit of that because most likely you're not caught by surprise with a few different things. You can be more intentional. And I remember reading this quote. I wish I remember where it was, but I have to find it. But I remember reading that there are some people who go through life and they allow life to happen to them rather than making a plan to use the time you have and be intentional. And so some people I wonder, well, how do I get in this space? Well, did you have a plan for it not to be? Did you have any type of process in place for it not to happen that way? And if you didn't, well, then you just have to deal with what you've been given. Whereas others who have more focus and purpose, as you love to talk about, purpose helps you to cut some of the waste. Purpose helps you clarify vision. Purpose also helps you to understand how you have to invest your time, which is back to the point here. we do this because we really like helping people, and we thought it would be good to share. We didn't come into this relationship or this marriage knowing everything that we would face, of course, or how we would move, but we knew you wanted to do things differently.
Yeah.
I had some things to adjust to make room for someone, and which means doing things differently, and coming together to talk about it means there are some things that will not be an option for us because we already have a clear path and goal. And that also helps to clear up some confusion, because if you know where you're going, some things are not an option. Right. Some things you don't have to give time and attention to. So it's exciting to see what happens, because for the first time, we have a joint plan, and it's baby steps, but baby steps will get you somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
You're good?
You're going forward.
We are going forward. Thanks for the time. Hey, listen, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Maybe somebody you know would benefit from just thinking about the option of having that tough conversation, sensitive conversations, but on the other side, they'll benefit from it. Remember, I had a couple of friends tell me that they've been married like 10 plus years and never had a sit down, like a real thorough strategic meeting. And already they've been inspired to do so. So
how long have they been married?
One 14 years, the other one over 10.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So it works to not have a meeting too.
Well, not really. That's why they wanted to do it.
I mean, they're still together. They're not arguing about stuff.
No, you're missing the point. They need to, but things have been falling on the wayside, so they stay in the same unhealthy cycle.
You're right, babe.
It's best that we end. It's best that we end now. Or maybe not. Just know there are some things that happen because some people.
Oh, boy. Pray for me, y'all.
Yeah, no, pray for me too. We ready to go now? We're done?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, though. Seriously. Thank you for holding my feet to the fire on this. I appreciate you.
You're so violent. Everything is violent. I didn't hold your feet to fire. I was trying to encourage you towards the purpose and the vision you said you wanted to accomplish.
You're right. Yeah. You're sure right.
And then I also said, if you don't want to go, I got stuff to do. So
you did.
I'll keep it moving.
You sure did.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Peace.